Hello, hello, everyone. It's Brenda here for Stamplicity, and welcome to What's Up Wednesday. All right, I've been all over the map as to what I was going to do this evening, but I finally figured it out. We just got a new order in of Simply Stated, some really great ephemera, and so I thought I would do quick and simple cards with Simply Stated, which we have never done before, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm probably being a bit of an overachiever this evening um, because I have lots planned. We'll see how far we can go. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes for the eyes to get on us. Good evening. It's been a very snowy day here as well. I see Amy is saying hello from snowy Milton. This morning it was fine, and then all of a sudden I looked out the window. I was working from home today, and it was like a blizzard out there. And yet we had to shovel yet again, which sucks. I'm so sick of this weather. I'm so sick of this weather. I do not fare well in winter. Anyways, um, spring is coming. I keep on telling myself so. All right. So if you're joining me this evening, make sure you pop a little comment in the comment section. If you have any questions throughout the live this evening, then pop them in there. Whether you are on Facebook or YouTube, I will get notification of them and I try to answer them as best I can. All right. So we're going to get started. And I'm going to flip my camera around so you can kind of see what we're going to play with. So let me just do that. All right, look at that. All right, so like I said, we got a new shipment of Simply Stated designs in last week, and you can find them under our January arrivals. And I thought it would be, useful to do a little live showing you how quick and simple it is to create with these ephemera packs because there's so many of them. We have a whole wall of them, and you guys all love them. So we did get some new ones in, and we've got some favorites as well. So because Valentine's Day is just around the corner, I thought I would do some quick and simple Valentine cards again. But then I also want to use two of our, these are the best sellers that we have right now are these guys. So I thought I would do some cards with that. I am planning to do 8 cards this evening. We'll see how it goes. But I do have things already kind of prepped. And we're going to just create tonight. All right. So I'm going to show you the product I'm going to use and then we're going to get started. All right. So if you're not familiar with Simply Stated Designs, they are a Canadian company. Yay! Yes, they're Canadian and we love them. And they do pattern papers and they do ephemera sets, they do bookmarks, they do die cuts, they do so much, right? And they're pretty awesome. And we love Simply Stated and all their designs. They are phenomenal. Not only are the designs amazing, but the team there is amazing as well. So a shout out to our Canadian Simply Stated company. Sorry, I got a hair in my mouth. Yeah, okay. All right, so we are gonna do this one is a brand new one for us, and this one is called Love Bots. And I thought they were just super cute. What I love about these ephemera packs is that you're gonna get smaller, medium, and larger pieces in here. All right. So quick and simple embellishments for layouts, for journals, and for card making. All right. So I don't think the colors are really showing up on this. My lighting is not great in my studio here, but lovely pinks. They're not as dark as you see them on camera. And there is a hint of teal in there as well. All right, so we're going to play around with the Love Bots. And then these are the Valentine frogs. That's not the correct name for them, but that's what I named them for our barcode. I think they're heart frogs is the real name on the Simply Stated website, but we're calling them Valentine frogs. But they don't need to be Valentine frogs. There's lots of hearts going on with them. But they're really, really cute. All right. And again, they're a little bit more vibrant in real life rather than on camera. But they're super, super sweet. So hello, hello, everyone. Michelle saying happy snowy. Yes, I'm so done with this weather. So done with this weather. All right, so this is a different product from Simply Stated. We started bringing this out or bringing this in at Christmas time. And these are kind of like card fronts. All right. They measure 3.5 by 5. They make really quick and simple backgrounds. Obviously, this one is called Tattered Pink Grunge, and I thought it worked really well with the robots, and the colors of this actually work really well with the frogs as well. So I grabbed these ones. So I'm going to show you what you can do with them. All right. So we're going to do kind of Valentine cards with these guys, showing you some quick and simple ways and how to use the ephemera. But I couldn't resist because these are our two best sellers, all right? And these are the quirky dogs and the quirky cats, and they just make me giggle, all right? Take a look at the faces on some of them. I mean, some of those is how I feel, frazzled, right? Like super fun. So those are the quirky dogs, and then the cats. Like, oh my gosh, the looks on these cats' faces like are just I love them. All right. So these are our two best sellers of the Simply Stated designs. And we're going to do a couple of cards with those as well. So let's get started. All right. I got to tell you, as you know, I clean up my studio. I'm in the process of cleaning up my studio, or organizing because I moved studios. But being organized is so helpful. Oh my gosh. So now when I go look for a die, when I want like a stitch circle die, I know exactly where it is. I don't have to go rummaging through boxes. I know exactly where it is. So that's probably why I'm a bit of an overachiever this evening, because when I was prepping, I knew where everything was. And it just, I'm like, oh, we can do this, we can do that, right? So we'll see how far we get. All right. But I have like kind of prepped, and we are just going to go through these really, really quickly because I've done a lot of the prep work and die cutting off camera. All right. So this is the little froggy we're going to start with. All right. And he's in this little tree stump. Just to give you, this is one of the larger pieces in the ephemera pack. All right. And then there's medium and, like I said, and small. There are like 3 or 4 of the larger ones. And I thought he was really cute sitting in that little stump. So we're going to use that. I also got, I have this box of pattern paper, and I don't know how old it is, but we all have them. And I found this pattern paper that really kind of worked with the colors. And then I did a pink background. All right. So this will be my card front, which is 4.25 by 5.5. Then I trimmed down my pattern paper to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I just wanted a hint of pink around there. All right. Just a hint. All right. So we're going to put those together, and this looked like it was 49 in market paper. Old kaleidoscope, I think that's what it was. It's amazing what you find in your stash. But anyways, it's a great green that worked well with this. All right, so then we have that. Then I wanted to kind of ground him. I just didn't want him floating on the pattern paper. So I just picked a shape that would work. All right. So because I was doing a horizontal card, I decided to do a stitch circle, and I decided to bring in some white. All right. So you'll notice that these ephemera pieces do have kind of a white outline on there. So I wanted to bring in that white. So this is going to kind of ground it. But then I thought we need some texture in this one. So I just went in my stash of dies and found kind of a tall grass one, all right, that we can kind of layer behind this tree stump and bring in some color. So I just cut 2 of them. Don't ask me which dye it is. I just grabbed any grass dye would do. Even if you had a branch dye, that would work as well. But I just wanted to bring some color, so I trimmed that out. And then from our last, was it last week? Did we do the Mickey Mouse last week? I think we did Mickey Mouse last week. I can't remember. But this is the press plate with the Mickey Mouse um, Classic Love Better Press sentiments. And I pressed a bunch of these ones, and I'll be using them this evening. So this is from the Mickey collection, obviously with the word golly. But I was saying that when I did the Mickey live, I'm like, these will work with so many. So I just thought the golly, I sure do love you, works with this little frog. It's super cute. Hey, Sue, she picked up both the robots and the frogs today. Well, it's your lucky night. I didn't even know that. All right, so we're going to put this together. I'm sorry, I'm really shaking the camera. My camera stand is doing a balancing act on the edge of my desk right now, just so that I could get the view right. I don't know. I struggle with this every week, but anyways, so I'm apologizing that there's a little bit of shakiness on there. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to take my little stitch circle, and you could have done. I could have done an oval. I could have done a square. But I chose a circle, and I'm going to kind of center it on the kind of right hand side of my card front here. All right, so there's that. And then we need some foam squares. All right. All right. So with these ephemeras, I like to give them a little shape. All right. So I like to have some curvature to them. So I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to I'm almost like curling ribbon. All right. So I'm going to start in the middle and I'm just going to kind of work my bone folder out to the edge like I'm curling ribbon, just like you were using a blade, your scissor blades to curl ribbon. All right. So you can kind of see I've curled it like that. Now, if you don't have a bone folder with a tapered edge like this is old school. You can just kind of roll it around something that's round, all right, just to give it some dimension because I really want to have some dimension, but a curve to it, all right, not just up. I want it curved. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to put some foam squares down the center. Now, you know I love adhesive and I love a foam adhesive. I love foam adhesive. So one foam square is not going to be enough for me. I'm going to put a foam square on top of a foam square just on the center part. All right. And then I'm going to just take a little foam square and then I'm going to kind of put it on the left and the right hand side, not right to the edge. And this is going to help keep that curvature. All right. And I think I need smaller ones. One moment. Okay. And I'll put one here. I think that should be good. All right. So let's put this on. And then we'll just add some of the tall grasses and the tall grasses, I actually cut out of a pattern paper. It's an old Lawn Fawn paper. I don't even know if Lawn Fawn still has it, but okay. So you can see I still have that curvature going on based on how I put my foam adhesives. So it's got that, the stump, the log has some um, it has some dimension to it. Forgot the word I needed. All right, so here are, and this was just a lime green with a stripe in there, a very faint stripe. And we're gonna go ahead now and apply this on. I think one I'm gonna tuck behind. I should have not put that foam square at the back there. Or maybe I should have put the grasses on first. I thought I could just tuck it in, but I need to tuck it in a little bit more. All right, let's stick this on. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue and let's just stick. Okay, I might have to trim some of this grass off because it's, all right. So this one here, we're just going to kind of put, I need to bring that down because it's a little too tall. All right, we're going to do a little haircut at the bottom there too. Okay, one grass on. And now this one here, I think I'm going to put it kind of in the front. All right, so I don't want to block his face. So I'm just going to kind of move it down until I am happy with it. And let's just add some glue. And let's stick that on. And I'm just going to put a spot of glue at the stem here. All right, and then I'm just going to grab my little sentiment. Golly, I sure do love you. Now, because I put a foam adhesive on top of a foam adhesive in the middle here, and this is going to go across it. I'm going to put flat here, but on this side, I need to put foam adhesive on top of foam adhesive just to keep everything level. All right. I know that seems like overkill, but I like my dimension. So you wouldn't need to put this much, I suppose. But all right, so let's put our little sentiment on here. We're gonna go right. That did not go on straight. Oh, you know what? I see what I did here. I got this moved over a little too much. All right, let's go. All right, stick down. All right, so there's our little sentiment. And then to finish this off, let's add a few little hearts on here. So I've already die cut. I just had a cute little heart um, die cut, and I just cut a bunch of them in the pink. So let's do a little threesome here around this grass, and this one will be done. All right, so really quick and simple. I mean, I'm using just die cuts I had in my stash. All right. And, we all have so much in our stash. We're all guilty of having that, right? So always look what you have in there. It's going to coordinate with the pictures on the ephemera. So, all right. And I think this one I'm going to pop up. And I think I'm going to just put a little spot of glue and just attach that grass to this heart so it's not so flimsy. There we go. And just tack it down. And how fun is that? All right. Quick and simple. How sweet. All right. One card done. All right. So really easy to use these ephemera. You're just going to like using as your existing die cuts just to kind of make it work. Pick out elements that are in the picture. Like this one here, there was little grasses at the bottom here, but I just thought it worked. And really quick and simple. All right. So card number 1 done. All right. We're going to do another frog one. And this one here, I'm going to use some of those tattered grunge papers that I showed you at the very beginning from Simply Stated. That are these. So on another card that we're going to be doing this evening, I did cut the arch out of here, but I centered it on there so that this could become a frame. All right. So is it my next card? No, it's going to be like 2 cards from now. I will use the inside piece, all right? So, I could make this into a shaker, but I did not have any Valentine or heart shaker elements, so we're just going to use it as a frame. So, I picked this one. This was another of the large ephemera from the frog set, and I just think he's really cute with the little crown on there. And we're going to use one of the nano spinners on here. So if you didn't see the Fun Friday from last week, I'm going to show you the nano spinners because I'm addicted to them. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy, and we're going to actually adhere him right behind the frame. All right. So I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue just at the base and up the sides, just ever so slightly. And now we will glue him on. And he fits just perfectly behind that archway. All right. So just like that. All right, now I'm going to pop it up onto a background, and I use this teal. There is some teal going on kind of in the fence and on his crown. So I just thought that would work lovely. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. I'm going to grab my strips though. Okay. So like I said, we could have made this into a shaker, and we could have put acetate behind here. But I chose not to do that this time, but definitely an option. All right. Okay. Okay, so let's stick this on our background piece. I did not cut my background piece to size. I'll just use a pair of scissors to trim it down. This was just a scrap in my collection, so I just pulled it and struggling with the backings of this. There we go. Okay, I think I got all the backings. All right, so we're just going to put this on the teal now. And I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to do kind of an angle cut to get behind there. So I have none of that edging showing or anything. All right, so we've got that now. Look how cute that is. Okay, then we are going to go ahead. I just cut some bases here. All right, so the white would be our card base. All right, so that's an A2. Then I cut a pink panel that is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and adhere that down onto the card front. So we'll get that framed in. All right, and then we can go ahead, oops, and attach this guy on there. I'm not going to pop it up because we've already popped up the top frame, but we're going to center that in now. And then let's do some embellishing, and then this one will be done. All right, so there's that. Now, we got to do something in the background here. It's just a little too, flat. And I have some hearts, and I have another one of those sayings from that Better Press plate, the classic mouse love Better Press plate, and that says you hold the key to my heart. And I think I'm going to put that across the top here. We're going to use some little hearts in the background. All right, but then we're going to put that nano spinner on here. So let me go ahead. I'm going to attach this. I'm not going to pop this up. I'm just going to put a little glue because it stretches right across that frame. Actually, I might put a little foam adhesive in the center just so that it does not sink. All right, so let's just center that left to right. Now, I did look to see if I could find one of those little metal key embellishments, but I could not. I did not have one. So, but that would have been really cute. I think Tim Holtz has some. I don't know if we have them in stock or if they still do exist, but that would be cute. All right, so there's that. Let's do the little hearts in the background. So again, I'm just going to kind of randomly put 3 little hearts in the background, and that's going to kind of fill up that flatness. All right. These ones I'm going to put a bit of an angle. All right, so that fills in that kind of void. Now let's do the nano spinner, all right? So, or the spinner. These hearts are pretty big. So I just cut 2 nested hearts together in the 2 colors I used, in the teal and that pink. And I'm just gonna glue them together. Just layer them on. All right. And let's talk about these spinners. All right, like if you didn't catch the Fun Friday, there are 2 spinners in there. All right, so I don't know if you can see that. There. There's the large one. The large one you can see, and then there's the tiny little nano spinner. Now the nano spinner is meant for smaller items. When you have a bigger items, you can use the bigger one. There is quite the depth difference in the 2 here. The larger one is quite thick. These are not mail cards. All right, you don't send these ones in the mail unless you want to pay the extra postage. No big deal, but they're super fun to use. And then the little ones are not as thick. The little ones are probably 1/8 of an inch in depth. This one here is probably 3/8 of an inch in depth. All right, so just to give you an idea. But I'm going to use a larger one just because of the larger element. So these go on probably best with glue dots. Oh, I had medium ones here. I didn't think I had them the other day, but I have a brand new pack here. I thought they were large. All right. So, so I'm going to use the bigger one just because we have a bigger element here. So, all right. So I'm going to grab a glue dot. Yeah, the medium ones are the perfect sizes for the regular spinners. All right. And I'm going to stick this on the back of it. Oopsie, get it centered, Brenda. And then I'm going to peel that off. And I'm going to place it. Now we're going to put that heart right on the heart that's there. So I'm just going to center that on. All right. Now that will spin. All right. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that. So much fun. All right. And then I'm going to put another glue dot on there. Now, because it's a heart, it's symmetrical in shape, but our heart is top heavy. All right. That means there's more on the top than the bottom, right? So when we place this on the spinner, you want to place it closer to the top, because if you put it in the center, the top part, because it's heavier, will flip, and then your heart's going to be upside down. All right. So always watch what the element that you're using on your spinner, and make sure that you account for if it's top heavy in terms of the shape. All right, so I'm going to put the glue dot on there, peeled the backing, and now let's put our heart. And again, I'm going to concentrate that a little bit closer to the top. All right, and now we have the spinning heart. How cute is that? I think it needs a little glitter, but I'll do that off camera. And if I can find a little key die cut, I'm going to put it there. I'm pretty sure Michelle probably has one in her Elizabeth Crafts, so I'm going to have to bug her, but I think that would be really, really cute to have a little key there on that little spinner. All right. Fun little interactive card. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So card number 2 done. We're going to continue on. So those are the frogs. We're going to move on to the robots now. I love these little robots. They're so, so cute. All right. Let me just tidy up a little bit here. Okay. Let's do, oh, I'm making 3 robot cards. Oh my gosh. Okay. This one here was just kind of a fun little one. I love using die cuts in different ways. All right. So this one here was a rectangle one. This is All in Create, one of my faves, Holy Fun. All right. I know a lot of you have this one because I use it quite often. But I love the kind of distressed on there. So I took the largest scalloped piece, and then I scored it in half, and this is going to become my card base. And then I went one size down and I cut the scallop in the black, and then I used that lovely tattered pink grunge backgrounds, and I cut the layer on there. All right, so I'm going to glue these two together. I better like up my game here in terms of time, because 9 cards. Overachiever here. All right, so that's just going to center on there. And then I thought then we could just center this on to make a cute little a different card, right? Look at your die cuts differently to see what you can do with them. So I'm going to pop this up with some foam adhesive. And again, we only need it on the bottom part because that's what's going to adhere to our little funky little card base here. All right, so I'm going to just frame this in. All right. Now, because I have the scalloped edge on here and my glass, it may not stand up all the way there. On a regular surface, it would, but I know my glass is pretty slippery. All right, but it will stand up. There we go. We got it. Okay, so this is one of the larger robots there. Look how cute he is. Ah, he's so sweet. All right, and I'm just going to pop him up on the panel here. I mean, quick and simple. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give him a little shape. Let's shape him. Give him some dimension. All right. I'm going to put foam adhesive just down the center of him, but I'm only going to do 1 layer this time. I won't do the double layer like we did with the little tree trunk frog. All right. And I'm not going to worry about any more adhesive. All right. And we're going to stick this. What's my saying on here? Okay. We're going to stick this. I'm going to go a little bit closer to the top because I'm going to put my sentiment underneath him. All right. Then I'm going to pop up the, again, this is from that Classic Mouse Love Better Press Plate. You've Stolen My Heart. Perfect. All right. And I'm going to pop that up on the bottom here. And then to finish this card off, I mean, that was really easy. Nothing like, I just picked a few cardstock colors that coordinate with it, some funky shapes, and a greeting, and that's it. But I am going to finish this up, and I probably will not do it on well, maybe I do, just so that if anyone doesn't know about glaze and glue, let's do it. All right, so you've Stolen My Heart. All right, so cute little card there. And then I'm going to add a little shine. All right, so, oh, where is my glaze and glue? Got it. Okay, so glaze and glue, let's just talk about glaze and glue for those that are not familiar with it. This is a product from Spellbinders. It's very much like Glossy Accents. All right, there's different products on the market that are very similar. This is the one I love to use. It's my go-to. How this differs from Glossy Accents, it's not as thick. It's a little bit more fluid, so you got to be careful with that. But what I love about this, I haven't had it yellow on me yet. I know Glossy Accents over time yellows, and I don't get any air bubbles with this. And Glossy Accents, I do. And I think that's just because of the thickness and the consistency of Glossy Accents. It's not that I don't like Glossy Accents. I use it. I have it. I just prefer the glaze and glue. All right. So I'm going to lay this one flat. And when you use either Glossy Accents or glaze and glue, you want to, whatever you're doing to make it gloss, whatever element you're doing to make glossy, basically I will get it running first. It's not, it's got a little clog in there, a little dried piece in there. All right, we're good. Okay, so what I like to do is kind of trace the element that I want to make glossy, all right? So I will just kind of go around, and this one I'm doing that center heart. So I'm just going to go around the edge, outline what I want glossy. All right, once I have that outline on there, I'm going to bring that up to the camera. All right, once I have that outline done, then I'm going to go in and fill it up. Now, when you fill you want to have a little puddle, don't be stingy about it. You want a puddle, all right? You want to have a nice layer of Glossy Accents on there, right? So don't be stingy, all right? Make that little puddle of Glossy Accents. And because we put that outline in there, it's not going to run off. It holds its shape. And I just fill that in. And I'm going to bring that up to camera so you can see it. Now, it will be cloudy. You can see I got a nice layer on there. It will be cloudy, but as it dries, it will dry clear and super shiny. And it's just really, really cool. In fact, I think I might do his eyes as well. Let's do them. So again, I'm just going to go around the edge and then fill in and make sure I have a nice puddle. Now, when you have this dry, it's going to take, depending on how thick your layer is, mine's pretty thick, it's going to take at least a half an hour to dry. So you want to put this somewhere flat, all right, so that it will dry flat, and you won't stick your, fingers or elbows in it. But there's our little robot. While it's still wet too, you could sprinkle in fine glitter in there, which is really, really cool. I've done that in the past. And then it will dry with a little bit of sparkle in there. All right, so I'm going to put that to the side to dry. And let's put it over here. All right, let's move on to our next robot card. Oh my gosh, we got so much. All right, this one here, we're going to do one of the snap and slides. All right, again, I did that the Friday before, I think. Let's do this here. All right, so we've got this cute little robot with these little heart balloons, and I thought it would be cute if he was sliding up and down on here. All right, so let's go ahead and put this together. Now, these little panels here are 3.5 by 5, which is kind of a little odd shape in terms of it doesn't fit with our whole A2 kind of measurements. So to get over that, I did not trim it down. I left it as I cut a mat. All right, so then this mat was 5.25 by 3.75, and we're going to mat it on an A2, but we're going to push it center to the right hand side. And then on this side where we had more of a border, I just added a few score lines. All right. So I did 1/8 of an inch score lines on there. All right. And then that just centers it everything up. All right. Just makes everything pretty. All right. So don't despair if your sizing doesn't work. I always say add a score line. All right. Don't leave it plain. Add something. Add a score line. Score lines are pretty awesome. It's just like embossing. And it adds a little texture and design to your panel. Okay, so I'm gonna cut, or sorry, this is not, I think it's 80-pound cardstock, printed cardstock. So it's not super heavy. I'm gonna put it on my panel here. And then we're gonna die cut our little track. All right. So I showed you this before a couple weeks ago. This is the Trinity Stamp Slide and Spin. All right, which have all the little, you know, tracks that you could think of. But I will tell you now, because I know a lot of you are looking for this and it's sold out. I have more on order, no worries. But there is one in our clearance from Heffy Doodle. Now, it's only 3 little tracks, but it's perfect for card making, and it's only $4. All right, so check that out. We have limited quantities. I'm telling you now because I know so many people wanted this and wanted this snap and slides, and we have that great die on clearance right now. It was one of our Black Friday deals, so there was lots of them, and then we just have a few remaining, but check that out because it's a great die. You're all gonna run now, I know. All right, so I'm going to choose this little one here, and we're going to line this. I'm going to line this up right about, I'm going to put it at an angle. So he's going to come kind of down. Now I'm just going to run this through my die cut machine. Now my die cut machine is just to the left here. You won't see me die cutting it, but you're going to hear it. And I am going to run it back and forth because of the 2 pieces of paper there. All right. So, right. Okay. All right, so my die I'm going to put away. We have our little track now for our little balloons. All right, I'm going to save this piece. All right, so we don't want to get rid of that piece. And now what we're going to do is we're going to attach our little snap on here. All right, so a lot of people were asking, I posted the picture of the other day that these were back in stock, and a lot of people were asking, well, what are they? So back in the day when we did these kind of slide on over cards, we used to use pennies as the sliders. And these are kind of to replace the pennies. They make it super easy to do now. So once you have your track cut, then you're going to take the base. All right, that's the one that's got the little dowel on it. You're going to place it from the back through the little track, and then you're going to take the snap part and snap this on. And now we have that on there ready to go. All right, so easy peasy to do. Okay, now when I did my Fun Friday about these snap and slides, what I didn't realize is that I did not put enough foam adhesive on there. So it still slid, but if you really want it to slide really, really well, double up your foam adhesive. So I'm just going to grab my foam tape. And what we want to do is I'm going to take my foam tape and I'm going to double it up. All right, so I'm just going to cut a length. And what I mean about doubling it up, especially if you have foam tape, it's easy to do. You're just going to fold it back on one another. And now we have the double height. And now my slider is going to slide really, really well. All right. So now I'm going to just cut pieces, and we're going to put this on. And I'm going to do another little piece here. No questions this evening. Everyone's very quiet, but you're all loving the cards, so that's awesome. Okay. Now, just because I have this extra little piece here, when you put your foam adhesive on here, you want to be at least 1/4 of an inch away from the slider. So I would say go at least 1/2 an inch. So, all right, so there's that. We're going to go ahead and stick this on now onto our card front. Lauren, I see your you want the slider die. I'll put your name down for that. I have placed my order, so we'll make sure that we get you on that. All right. And Nancy says, how many millimeter thick is your double-sided foam tape that you're using? I don't know. It is the it is the regular scrapbook adhesive one. So I don't have any packaging for it. Oh, that's centimeters in my. So I want to say that this is. I don't think it's 1/8. I will get back to you on that, Nancy. But it's the regular one. So it's the same thickness as the regular foam adhesives. All right. So I don't know if that helps you, because I know that you can get the rolls in thin or regular. This is the regular one. Okay. So see, my slider is working, and we're going to center this on 2 millimeter. Thank you, Anne. Anne must have had a package at home that she knew. All right. Now, see how my slider is really sliding? When I did my live last time, it was not sliding like that. It was sliding, but it needed a little help. So having that double thickness of the foam adhesive helps that move. All right. So, okay. So now we're going to go ahead and attach our little guy here. And I'm going to put a foam adhesive on it. I know it's going to be super thick, but I don't care. All right, I'm putting a foam adhesive. Now, again, this is a little top heavy. All right, so I want to make sure that, because this is going to spin as well, so I want to make sure that we got closer to the top on this one. All right, so now we have our balloons. All right, they will spin, but how fun is that? Like, but it's gonna come, it looks like it's like falling from the sky. All right, so how fun. All right, so there's our little robot with balloons. And then, oh, I was gonna put this in, but I didn't. It doesn't really matter. It's really covered. I was gonna put that back in and glue that in, but I did not. I got excited. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put our little sentiment. Now I'm going to put this down flat, all right, because we want, as he comes down, we don't want him to get caught up on that sentiment. So I'm just going to do this flat. All right, and this one says, to the one that makes my heart smile. So sweet. And again, you can go in now and add, you can do glossy accents, you could put a little stickles on there, little gems, and I'll do that off camera. I'm going to do a little bit of glossy accents and stickles. So sparkle and shine, sparkle and shine. All right. So there is our little balloon. How cute is that? All right. So there is our second robot card. We're going to do one more, and this is just a cute little shaped card. This is going to be quick and easy. This is where that arch came from that frog frame. I just had an arch sitting from something else, so I just cut a layer. Having some really great shaped dies in your collection is a good idea. They're like the little black dresses in your closet, all right? So we all have our favorites. The arch is one of my favorites, and the other one is the postage edge. I use that all the time. Those are my two go-tos, right? So this one here was a little robot couple. Now this is one of the smaller elements, so you can see the sizing. All right, so this was a large one, this is a small one. So I like the fact that you get different sizes in there. And I'm just going to shape this one again. And we're going to put some foam adhesive in the center. We're going to add a little sentiment, add some little hearts to this, and this one's done. I mean, really quick and simple. That's what we want. Do we want, see, these are the hard decisions. Do we want our sentiment up on top? No, we're going to put it on the bottom. So I'm going to kind of center our little robot couple in the middle. All right, let's pop our little sentiment up. And then we're going to do a little time check to see where we're at. Now, I'd love to be crafting with you all evening, but I do have a Zoom call with one of our vendors at 9 o'clock tonight. So yes, I do. I know it sucks, but all right. So we make the perfect pair. Again, that is a Better Press sentiment from the Classic Mouse Love press plate. And then I got a few hearts left, so we might as well use them. What do I have? I think I'm going to do a big one and a small one. Do the other color. I have two different pinks in here. If you're wondering why, it may not look like that, but I do. All right. So I said I was going to make this into a shaped card. I've done that many times. I'm just going to cut another arch the same size in white, score the top, and then attach them together. All right, so one little heart there. 15 more minutes till 8 o'clock. Oh, I'm okay then. I think I can go until about 8:30, so that will be fine. All right, so there we go. That was easy. Easy peasy. All right, so that was card number 3 of robots. All right, shall I continue, everyone? Shall I continue? You want to do the cats and dogs next? Let me just tidy up a little bit here. All right. Okay, let's then now move on to those kitty cats. Oh my gosh, they just make me laugh. Oh, all right, so I'm just going to pull that package back. All right, so one of our, oops, upside down, one of our bestsellers, all right, is this one here, and they're just too funny. All right, so for this one here, we're going to make a cute little easel card. And I took the liberty of getting everything kind of arranged, and we just got this pattern paper in from All in Create, and it's pretty awesome. So it comes in 6x6 and 12x12. This one is called Peeling Time. All right, and it's kind of grungy brickwork. Really, really cool. Really high quality paper, guys. And this comes in 12x12 as well. So I did cut my pattern papers from this. So we're going to do some inky action on here. All right, and I do have a kind of a brick stencil, I guess. I don't know. Again, I pulled from my stash. I believe this is a Hero Arts one. All right, I just want to add a little bit of ink on here. So I'm just going to lay my stencil down. And I'm going to grab some Rusty Hinge Distress ink. And I'm just going to just randomly pull that ink down, and then I'm going to hit with some brown, and then I'm going to hit with some aged mahogany. And again, it's just little here. I'm not doing the same areas. I just want little bits of that, those reds, browns, and kind of brickwork. All right, so we've got some just brickwork in there. All right, I'm going to do that the same with this one here. And we'll do that again. A little bit of Rusty Hinge. I'm leaving my stencil in the same spot, just randomly adding that little bit of rusty hinge. And then I'm going to move to gathered twigs and just add a little here and there. And then I'm going to just add a little bit of aged mahogany. All right, done. All right, now I am going to take my brown ink and just kind of hit the edges here. And I'm going to show you this paper front and back as well because it's just so awesome. So I'm just toning down that bright white on here. Okay, so see one side has kind of got that fun, look at the texture on there. And then this one here was a brick. They're all different. There's 10 different sheets in the pack and they're all different. Okay. All right, so we're gonna make a little easel card here. So this is gonna be the inside of my card, and we're going to go ahead and adhere that in the inside. All right, so there's that. And then on my front panel, I'm going to, oh, which way I want to do this? I think I'm going to go this way. I'm going to put this on. Oh, I think I'm going to stamp on this too. Oh, I should have done that first. But now I have adhesive. You know what? I'm going to stamp on this. I was supposed to stamp a sentiment on there. I forgot. All right, where is my stamping platform? All right, we are going to put this, I guess, we're going to have to, I put the brick sideways. Oh my gosh. All right, that's just going to be the way it's going to be. All right, so we're going to do a sentiment on here. And we're going to use this one, which I showed on Talk Tuesday. This is the Spellbinders. It's a brand new one. We don't have it in stock, but we do have lots on order. And this is called Birthday Laughs, and they're just fun. They're just fun. And they're a little snarky, which this is why I love it. Which one? How old are we telling people you are now is what the verse I'm going to use. And I'm going to stamp it over here where it's a little bit lighter. And we're going to stamp this in brown ink, I believe. Or maybe I should do black. I think I'm going to do black. All right, I might have to stand up for this. Nope, that worked out well. Okay, let's stamp this in black. All right, so this is a new stamp set from Spellbinders. It's on its way. We do have lots of it. And again, it's called Birthday Laughs. I know a lot of people were kind of pre-ordering it on Talk Tuesday. All right. All right, that's stamped beautifully. And that's going to come off the foam really nicely. Good. All right, I'm going to leave my stamp in there because I know I got to use it again. And I put way too much adhesive on here. I was not thinking. All right, we're going to put a piece of cardstock in the back. All right. I put way too much adhesive because we weren't supposed to put it all the way to the top. Haha. All right, so there's supposed to be no adhesive on there. So what I'm going to do for the time being is I'm just going to take a bit of my release sheet from my adhesives, and I'm just going to put it behind there until I can put a piece of paper behind there, and I can keep on going. Okay, so there is that. And then now we are going to use our kitty cats. All right, so these are some of the larger ones in there, and I love the looks on their faces. All right, and we have that one as well. So I'm going to, I mean, look how quick and simple that was. The paper works really well with this. That's going to fit there. And then I'm going to put the little guy here. And then it'll be kind of cute. All right, so there is that. Or, you know what? I'm wondering. I'm going to put him down here. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop these up. Now, I do have little bricks here to add a little texture to my card, to really accentuate the bricks and the paper. I don't know if I'm going to put them on camera, but I will do it off camera. And you know what? I'm going to edge him so he's not so white. And then, as you know, tomorrow I always show the finished samples of, you know, as I do all the embellishing and the finishing touches on them. I try to let you know what I'm doing, you know, ahead of time, and tell you I'll do that off camera, so you're kind of in the know. So I do have these little bricks, and they're just kind of like little rectangles. All right, so I've just edged him so he's not so white. And then we're just going to attach him. I don't want to cover up my sentiment. Oopsie. Move that over just a bit. All right, so there's that. I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. So I think I want to put a little kind of sentiment, so you can do your signage in there as well. So I'm going to do that. I'll do that off camera. I'm going to attach them on there, but these little bricks, I would just want to layer on here. All right. And we're going to offset them a little bit and just to create some texture, but I'll do that off camera. Again, I'll show the picture of it. I really want to get to the next cards and such. All right. So just a fun way of using them as an easel card. I love the looks of them, and I will finish that up off camera. All right. Because I did not cut a piece for our sentiment, our signage in there. So I'm going to put that to the side. And let's move on to our next cat card. This one here has a lot of pieces. All right. It's like a little film strip. So this die here, I've been wanting to do something with this die for a long, long time. This is from All in Create, and these little cats get it. All right. So this one here is called Frame Mesh, and it does kind of that kind of film strip comic book look. All right, so you get the outer die, and then you get the inside dies that you can cut the frames, and then the little pieces to inset them again. So I cut the outside with the frames in black. I have a 6x6 card front here. All right, this will make a square card. I did that in craft, and then I cut all the little pieces in white. All right, so now before I go crazy on this, I want to make sure that I have the pieces the right way before I start putting these little kitty cats on there. So we're going to kind of make a little comic book strip type of thing. All right, we are going to stamp a sentiment in on this one here. I did plan for that one, so I wanted to make sure that was in there. And I forget which one I'm using. So the top is the straight part. So I'm going to make sure that the top is on there properly. And oh, I think I can put this one on. I like this saying. How old are we telling people? All right, so I'm just going to place it. And then we'll stamp it. All right, that's stamped really, really good. All right, so I am going to, because the white is a little too stark, I'm going to grab my big blending brush here with a little bit of brown, and I'm just going to muddy up the kind of edges. All right, the center's still going to be kind of white, but we're just muddying that up a little bit. Okay, so really quick, just a little blend on there, easy peasy. And then we're going to attach all these little cats. All right. Do, do, do. And one more. Okay. Now we're going to attach our little cats on here, and I probably should have not wiped them out like I did. Okay, I think that's what it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I feel like I need a little bit more texture in the backgrounds. All right, I do. I'm sorry, I have to do this. We're going to add just going to add a little bit of brickwork on some of these. I just feel we need a little bit. This is the beauty of having a stencil. A stencil creates nice little texture. All right. And you don't need a whole lot of ink. As you can see, I'm not even re-inking my my brush. Okay. Okay, put that to the side. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cats and I'm going to edge them a little bit, and we are going to adhere them to these little inset pieces now. Okay. So this one here, we're going to actually put on here. So obviously he's a little too big on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue him down and then trim off his excess. So this is a really fun way of using all the little pieces. All right, so we're going to glue him on. I'm going to leave him on for now. I'll trim him off in a second. I want to get them all down. All right, edge, edge, edge. Now this one here, I can just line up just to the right, to the bottom almost. I am going to cut that little white edge off at the bottom. I think it's just going to clean it up a little bit. So we have that one. This one cracks me up, this one. The look on his face. How can you not smile, like, with these? They're just so much fun. All right, and this guy's going to go on the bottom. Again, I'm just going to take him just off a little bit off the bottom. Okay. And this one looks so sad. Now, when I'm putting the glue on, I'm just really putting it in the center of them because some of their elements may hang off the edge in terms of the whiskers and such, and that's okay. It's just the bodies we want down, the bodies we're going to trim off. All right, we're just about there. Then we can start assembling this one. And this one is going to go just under our little sentiment here. All right. So now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim off all these little extras. So just a straight edge right across. Now there's this frame here. There's a circle one as well, and then a regular rectangle one. I like the square one. I like this. I just like it looks like a comic book to me. Okay, so we have them all ready to go. I'm going to grab my base. I'm going to grab my frame now, and we're going to glue this on. And so I'm just going to do kind of random little dots here and there just to hold it down. The beauty of having a fine line glue. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me this evening. I'm going a little bit later than we normally do, but it's because I'm an overachiever. All right, so then this is going to go, I forget now how this is going. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'll flip it the right way when time comes. All right, so I'm just going to center this on my 6x6 card front. Give that a little bit of pressure so it gets good and stuck. The one that I'm using, Cheryl is asking the name of this die. It's called Frame Mesh. Number 75, Frame Mesh. All right, so there is our card base. All right, now we're going to go ahead and stick these all in. All right, so you could pop up these if you wanted to. I think I'm just going to inset them in. All right, so they're going to fit in nicely. And now we're going to have that comic book kind of feel. Actually, maybe I'll pop some of these up just to have. So we'll pop this one, and this one. Change my mind. So you could definitely do this one with the dog pack as well, because they have all these funny dogs as well. Funny faces and such. And let me see, the dog one that we're doing, oh, the dog ones are really easy that we're putting together. So we'll be done by 8:30. Yes. Haha. I can do this. All right. And last but not least, this little guy. All right, and there is our little comic book. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, it turned out better than I anticipated. So I love all the faces on there. How old are we telling people you are now? I just think that's a really fantastic, fun birthday card. I think it'd be perfect for those kind of milestone ages, 50, 60, 65, So how cute is that? And again, I'm going to go in with a little bit of glossy accents, I think, to do their eyes. I think that would be lots of fun, and maybe a little black splatter on there as well. All right. So again, I'll do that off camera. And then we'll post the pictures tomorrow of the finished ones. All right. So let's move on to the dogs, the cats. Super fun. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's clean up a little bit here. And let's move on to the dogs. All right. So this one here, again, I have a lot of the work done for us. All right, look at this guy. He is so fun. So I use that Holy Fun. I think that's the name of the one. I keep on forgetting this one here. Holy from All in Create. Holy Fun. Yeah, Holy Fun. And I use that lovely pattern paper from All in Create as well. So black base, and then I use the inset for the matte on there. I'm going to just grab my brown brush, and I'm just going to kind of dirty up the edges. Okay. And I'm going to use those little die cut bricks again and just kind of add a little bit of texture on there, but I'll do that off camera. Let's go ahead and stamp a sentiment on here before I forget. We have a little bit of white space near the top, so I'm going to do that. Let's change our sentiment, though. We've used this twice now. All right. Let's see. Let's go. You look good for someone born in the 1900s. I love that. Okay. So let's put that here, and I'm going to stick that right up in that area. All right, and we're going to stamp this in black because our base is black. Oh, you read my mind, Cheryl. I don't have jiggle eyes, googly eyes, but I do have the monster eyes here. So I didn't want to put them on the cats only because that's a whole lot of them. But, oops, I might put them on this, on the other dogs that I'm going to do. And when I say monster eyes, this is what I'm talking about. But googly eyes would be awesome as well. These ones are the monster eyes, the enamel stickers. I use these all the time because I just think they're kind of goofy and fun and playful. All right, so you look good for someone born in the 1900s. The name of the All in Crate is Peeling Time. That's the 6x6, and then there's a 12x12 as well. I don't know the name of it, but it's the same designs, but they have a different name for it. But Peeling Time is the 6x6. All right, so you look good for someone born in the 1900s. All right, let's go ahead, attach this on. Oh, the back side of these papers are just so awesome as well. So this paper pack is from the newest release from All in Create, which I don't think we've shown yet. I think that's for this, yeah, because it got released last Friday. That's why it may not seem familiar, because we have not shown it on Happy Hour. We've shown this Happy Hour. The stamp collection we are using is called Birthday Laughs. It's not available quite yet, Angela. It should be coming in. I don't think it'll be here by Friday, but it'll be here next week. All right. So, and we have lots coming in. Okay. So let's grab our little doggy here. All right. Again, I'm going to shape him a little bit. I think they always look good with a little bit of shape. So again, I'm just using my bone folder and kind of like curling ribbon. All right. This works with a tapered. If you had something, if you don't have a tapered bone folder, then just use something that's round and that you can kind of curl them around. All right. Just to give it that dimension. All right. So, all right. So we're going to place him in the center. Sorry. We're going to place the foam adhesives in the center, but we're going to push him more to the right. I will only put one row or column of foam adhesive. All right. And like I said, I am going to put, oops, get these little backings up. I am going to put some of those little bricks and build up the texture on there. But really, look how simple that is, all right? Having some really great dies, some effective background paper, a good stamp, and those die cuts just come to life. Super fun. I mean, that's really easy. All right. Okay, we got one more, guys. I can do this. I can do this. Okay, so this one here, I'm going back to that lovely die cut frame mesh. This one here, we're not going to put it on white. I'm going to put it on black. I don't have the black cut, but again, I used one of those pattern papers from the All in Create pad, and I cut the little pieces on there, and I'm just going to ink them and glue them on. And then I have two of these little dogs, and we're going to put those monster eyes on there. But before I do this, this is going to be quick and simple. I don't have a sentiment on here. We're going to have to stamp. So I think, I think we'll put a sentiment on here. So let's do that. Let's see what we got here. Change this up. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one too. How can we be the same age as old people? Diane's asking, is the paper pack in stock now? Yes, it is. And if you can't find it on the website, let me know. But it should be on there. It should be under January arrivals. All right. How can we be the same age as old people? Okay, this one here I'm going to do in black as well. I think Spellbinders has to come up with more of these kind of stamps because this has been really well received. They were really worried about having some snarkiness, you know, how people would receive it. It's been received really well, so they need to do more. We have an exclusive Better Press plate coming out that kind of matches this whole collection. We should have that next week as well, which is kind of cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges. Oh my goodness. You know what? I didn't wait for that ink to dry and I just smudged it all. Oh, look how sad that is. Fingerprints on there. Oh well. Um, well, we might be able to remedy this. So VersaFine Clair, use this as a teachable moment, everyone. VersaFine Clair is a pigment ink. So it's a slow drying ink. So you should not stick your thumb or finger on top of it after you stamp it because it's still wet. Lesson learned. Okay, I might be able to remedy this. We might just need to stamp that sentiment again. So if I flip this upside down, things might be upside down, but that's okay. Yes, I can remedy this. Yes. Okay. We just flipped it upside down and we're going to be very careful this time. Might need to stamp this a couple times because this is a little bit darker, the base of it. So I'm just going to really kind of bulk up that black. All right, that's good. And we're going to be very careful now. Okay, so we're going to go and start attaching these on. And these ones are all going to be flat. I'm going to wait till the very last one, that one. So now I'm just going to piece these in. I'm probably cleaning my thumb off. Doo-doo. Oops, wrong way. All right, now before I put this on, I can still see it's quite wet. So I'm just going to grab my heat tool and just zap it because I don't want to smudge it. So just excuse the noise. Okay. Still not completely dry, but I will be very careful. Okay. All right, so here are our little, or they're not really dogs. This is like a gigantic dog, all right? And then we've got his little friend here, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of these guys, and then I'm going to shape them like I have been doing. The ink just tones down that white, that's all. Especially when we have no white really going on here. Okay, shape these guys. All right, so we're going to start with the big guy first, and I'm going to put foam adhesive down the center of him. And I'm going to position him so that it covers that stamped verse that I messed up. I messed up. All right, so we've got that there. Okay, and then we're going to take his friend and we're going to put foam adhesive down the center of him. And I'm going to double this one up because I want him to kind of sit forward. All right, so all right, so there is our little, look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, that turned out awesome. Okay, this is the one I wanted to use the monster eyes on. All right, so the monster eyes, you can see there's all different colors. They're Halloween colors, right? But there are some black ones in here. And so I'm going to, oh my gosh, I'm cracking up. All right, so all right, so I've just kind of placed so they're kind of like wonky eyes. So that's that one, and then we'll do this guy here. Um, oh my gosh. So you want to pick sizes that are going to kind of fit right over top of their existing eyes. I'm going to bring this up. So I just used the ones that were black. I didn't want to bring in any other color, but take a look at that. Oh my gosh. All right. So I might add some bricks to this one as well. I'm definitely going to splatter this with some black paint. And then that one is then I'm going to mount it on the black cardstock. All right. Let me just move some stuff out of here. Let's bring all the cards back. What time is it? Do-do. Ooh, it's not even 8:30. Look at me. Look at me. All right. So I know I have a little bit of work still, just to finish these up, but we have our two dogs. All right. So that is the quirky dogs from Simply Stated Designs. And then we had the quirky cats. All right. And then this one here, I still have to finish. All right. Our little easel card here. And then we had our love bots, which were the cute little robots. We had our little step and slide one, the perfect pair, and let's see how this guy's doing in terms of drying. He's getting there for drying. All right, he's getting there. We have our little fun shaped card there, and then we had our froggies. This one's got the spinner on there, and again, I will finish this one up with a little bit of, I think, stickles. And then we have our little froggy in the little the log. I guess you can't see it there. Let me move this up a little bit. All right, so look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, guys. That is how quick and easy. I know I did a little prep work. I get that. But using that ephemera from Simply Stated, I mean, they make really quick and simple cards. All right, so I hope I inspired you. Check out the new ones that we just got in. There's some really great ones, but we also have a whole bunch of them. Check under the Simply Stated category on our website to see them all. And you know what? They're a Canadian company, so yay! And they're pretty awesome. So I hope I inspired you a little bit this evening. Thanks for tuning in for What's Up Wednesday, featuring Simply Stated ephemera and making quick and simple cards. Until next time, everyone. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I can do this way. Oop, doo-doo-doo. There we go. Now I can talk to you. Until next time, everyone, have yourself a great creative week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.